Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Invest in Your Future. I'm your host, Coach Kenny. I apologize for missing the past couple of weeks. My studio is right underneath one of the units, and the unit was getting redone, so there's a lot of noise, and it was going on for a couple of weeks, so we'll be back doing that. But we're back here. We're here every Thursday. Every other Thursday, I apologize. And we're here to give back in terms of knowledge, in terms of bringing on guests that can help you guys improve your lives by investing in your future, whether that's through real estate, whether that's through finance, whether that's through business, entrepreneurship. We're here to help you. So I'm always here trying to give back in terms as much as I can, because I believe better than money is giving somebody knowledge. And I always believe that that should always be free. That's why we always put this on to help you guys. But we're here just in case you do have, you want to get into real estate, you want to get into business. You can contact us, whether that's through email, info@kirundagroup.com. That's info@kirundagroup.com. The link will be in the show notes wherever you listen to this. I want to first of all say that all those people that have been supporting us from the beginning, I really appreciate you guys. The comments, the questions, the ideas, we always appreciate all those. So please leave us a comment. And if you listen to this on YouTube or wherever you listen to this, please give us a like, give us a subscription, hit that thumbs up button, because we get to share it with other people by giving that love to the show itself. Listen, you're not giving love to me, you're giving love to the show itself. And I hope you guys are picking up knowledge and picking up ideas on ways to help yourself. Whether that's, like I said, if you listen to this through on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you listen to this, give a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a subscription. I did put together a course. It's a course specifically, but all the information is out there. My course is really specifically for those people trying to get into, assets and cash flow that can help them retire early. That's the kind of real estate I focus on people getting into. My course will be coming soon. The link will be there also. And also will be, you'll have a chance to access the recap of my seminar, the Invest in Your Future. It's a 2.5-hour seminar that I did, and it's really helpful for anybody who's just starting from zero. Like, it's called Zero to Millions in Assets. It's for those people who are struggling with, no money, no business, no idea where to go. I suggest you spend that $30 and you get that Invest in Your Future seminar recap. It really helps you go from zero to wherever you want to get to. And also, obviously, we offer consulting. If you guys need one-on-one consulting, it's not cheap, but also it's very helpful. If you get that, that one-on-one attention, you can solve your personal own problems. So you can find, I have the Calendly on the link downstairs, down in the bottom of wherever you listen to this, or the link will be wherever you're seeing this, and that way you can get a chance to get one-on-one coaching with me if you are interested. Like I said, it's not cheap, but it's actually really good for those people who need that one-on-one attention, which I know a lot of people do. But if you can afford it, you can actually do it. I think it's going to actually, improve not just your life, but also your finances, your business, different things you're trying to do in terms of improving. So today, the episode even relates to how I've been missing these podcasts. Distractions 101. Distractions 101. The first thing I always think about when I think about distractions is these stats right here. And we are all privy to distractions, all of us. I get distracted. Everybody around you gets distracted. Your kids, everyone. The stat that really reminds me to focus and get my distractions, get my mind right, is the average attention span of an adult, a human adult, is 45 seconds. The average attention span of an adult, person who's grown, who's gone through school, who has a master's, doesn't matter, PhD, doesn't matter, their attention span is 45 seconds. That's why most advertisements are mostly 30 seconds or less, because they only have 45 seconds to get your attention. That's it. So 45 seconds for the average adult, 15 to 30 seconds for the average child, 15 to 30 seconds, and then the average goldfish is about 10 seconds. So you can kind of see where we span. We're not that far from children, and we're not that far from goldfish. You have to understand that distractions 101 is the most important things that will actually help you improve your business, improve your life, improve everything. Because since we're all privy to distractions, we have to figure out, okay, my attention span is average is 5 seconds. I have to figure out a way to improve that. Not only that, I have to figure out methods and techniques and things I can implement into my life to make sure I not only expand that attention span, but also be productive in the attention span. I believe it was John D. Rockefeller, one of the wealthiest people in the world. This is back in the day. He said he wasn't smarter than anybody else. He wasn't bigger. He didn't have more resources than anybody else. He didn't have anything more than the fact that he can hold his attention for 5 minutes straight on a project or a goal or whatever. He became one of the wealthiest people in the world ever. And he did it because he was able to focus for 5 minutes straight on a project or a topic or anything. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So you have to remember that it's everywhere. I have to know that their attention span is only 45 seconds. So I have to figure out ways to make sure I track them to make sure that they get stuff done. So, you have to figure out, okay, when I train kids for basketball, all levels from, middle school, high school, college, even some pros, and their attention span is 45 seconds. I have to figure out a way to get their attention back on where they're working or when they're working out. Listen, I coach a high school kid outdoors. I'm trying to show him a basketball move, and his attention is on the girl down the street because she's wearing a short skirt. Understand, attention is being, this world has all the attention you ever need, all the distractions you could ever use. Like, you have to understand that your attention is the most powerful thing that you can focus on when it comes to getting successful, because distractions are everywhere. I got distracted by my tenant upstairs above my studio. That was a distraction for me. From doing the podcast the past 2 weeks. That was distraction. Even though, yes, something's happening, but I could have easily, grab my phone, record it in a quiet place somewhere in a closet or a Panera Bread, wherever, and still put this podcast out. It's just a distraction I use to not put out those podcasts. Same thing with you. You're making excuses because of your distractions around you. It's that simple. So when I was in school, instead of focusing on what's going on the board or the teacher, my eyes were outside, wandering, looking outside the window, because my attention span was so short. 30 seconds, either you have the attention or you don't, and then otherwise your mind starts to wander. It could wander about your personal life. It could wander about other things. It could wander anywhere. Same thing with work. I used to work at a company, and I did some stats and just finding out, what's the average attention or what's the average work time for people who work an 8-hour day. The total amount of work they actually put in an 8-hour day is only 45 minutes. 45 minutes. So when you're hiring people, when you're working with people, you're trying to do stuff, you have to understand those things. Okay, when I was at work, I only worked 45 minutes. The rest of the time, I was either wandering, my mind was wandering somewhere else, means I was distracted, or I was not focused, so I didn't like what I was doing, which was a combination of all of them. So when I realized that I could find work that I can concentrate on without distractions. Listen, a friend of mine came to me recently and he said, "Hey, Kenny, are you seeing what's going on in this country?" And I just was not aware. I'm putting my head down. I'm focused. Like I'm trying to avoid all those distractions. And now what I'm trying to do now is tell people that don't bring me any news don't bring me any bad news. I don't want to hear it. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to not be distracted by whatever's going on. That's what you need to focus on yourself too. You need to fix the way you take your 45 seconds of attention span and either expand it or figure out a way to be very productive in those 45 seconds or 45 minutes in the 8-hour shift or whatever you're doing. So understand there's ways to fix this. I fixed this because I was very, very distracted. I was distracted by Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. I was distracted. Now TikTok. I was distracted by friends, family, distracted by stuff that was not working for me. You know, and when I was doing that, I was actually not just losing in terms of time, but also I was going backwards because once that attention is gone, once that distraction gets you, it holds you for a long period of time. That's why when you read a book and you look away, you get distracted. It takes you almost another minute to go back to where you started reading again to understand what you're trying to read. So those are the kind of things that you need to change, because it happened to me. I used to do the same exact thing where I would leave a page on a book, come back, and I have to go find where I stopped. Those are all distractions. So how do you fix distractions? Okay, so first thing is you can't multitask. First thing is you can't multitask. There's very, very few people in this world who can multitask. Why? Because your brain is not focused to be able to do two things at once. Yes, it can be auditory, like you could drive a car and listen to our audio. That means you're not using two things, you're just using, you're using your senses, but you're also using your auditory, which means you can process things while you drive. So, but you can't cook and read at the same time. I can't do a podcast and buy a building at the same time. Like I have to be in a certain place and focus on whatever I'm specifically doing. So if your brain is switching back and forth, which means trying to multitask, you are doing yourself a disservice. Actually, they call it they call it like almost like a drug addiction, because you are physically attracted to going back and forth by multitasking your brain in a short period of time. It means short wiring it. So you're doing a little task, you feel like you're productive, you go to another task, you feel productive, but in the end you haven't moved, you haven't made any movements. Remember, you only have that small period of time to get some work done. So understand you can't multitask. It's impossible. It's nearly impossible. You have to just focus on one task. Next thing is you have to understand that you have to create a list of what you want to get done. So that way it gets done. Because even if you do get distracted, which like I said is going to happen, but what are you doing to try to prevent that? One thing I'm doing is I'm making sure I write a list. I write a list of things that I want to get done, and I make sure those things get done. It's that simple. Otherwise, you don't have any accountability. So you have to make sure you're accountable to not just yourself, but also the tasks you're trying to get done. So write a list of this needs to get done. And that's it. Once it gets done, then you at least whatever, out of all the distractions, you still got that object or that goal or that business, whatever it is. At least you got started. You did something. So understand that. The third thing is to help you get distracted less is do things slower. Do things slower. So read slower. Whatever you're doing, drive a little slower. I'm telling you, this will help you with not getting distracted as much, because now you're actually taking the time to tell your brain to slow down, to understand exactly what you're trying to do. So slow down things. Slow down things is not a big deal. It's actually will help you instead of hurt you. The fourth thing is do some concentration exercises. You have to figure out a way to get your 45 seconds to a minute to 10 minutes to whatever you want to get to. Understand, you have to do concentration exercises. What are concentration exercises? It could be yoga. Yoga forces you to be there. It could be meditation, any kind of meditating for 10, 15, 20 minutes, 2 minutes. Any kind of concentration exercises where you have to sit there and actually do whatever you have to do and not be, one exercise that one of my coaches does is he takes a clock, the regular clock, and he sets 5 minutes and he watches the second clock go all the way around for 5 minutes. That's hard. I tried it. That's very, very hard to let your brain stay there and follow that second clock for 5 minutes straight is very, very hard. The same thing with concentrating anything else. So try that. That's a very tough one, but you can also, try that concentration exercise. And the fifth thing is practice attentive listening. So when you're listening to something, do not let your mind wander to something else. So focus on attentive listening. So when someone's talking, repeat it back in your head. So that way you're focusing on exactly what he's saying. Understand that's going to help you in terms of being able to concentrate, being able to not be distracted. Don't let your mind wander. Don't let your mind jump to something else. That's why it's very focused. It's very hard to focus, but you have to put your mind exactly where it needs to be, which is that place where you are. And the last thing is, which is the most important part, is once you are practicing these concentration things and ways to, reduce distractions, give yourself time to let your mind wander also, though. Now give yourself 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, an hour when you're exercising, whatever. Just let your mind go also. Let it relax. Let it, because it takes a lot of energy to focus. It takes a lot of energy not be distracted. It takes a lot more energy. So give your brain, your body, your mind time to wander. So that way, when it's time to concentrate and time to let the distractions go, it's able to do it because it has the time to wander also. So understand that, guys. It's really important to understand distractions 101. I gave you the kind of things that will help you, the stats, but then also gave you some kind of ways to help your mind be able to avoid the distractions 101. Understand, all the great inventors, all of them, most of them, what they did was they sat down in a room that's dark, that's black, but they were awake. They were dark, sitting there, and they let their mind wander. And that's how they found inventions and find things that they can invent and, for society. So those are things that maybe could help you, but you have to take the time and understand distractions 101. It's very important. All right. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be here not next Thursday, but the following Thursday. Hopefully I'll be bringing on guests. If you have ideas or questions or comments, leave them to where you see this. So that way we can get to them. We'll have all the questions answered. Also check out that course, the recap of the seminar, and then also the consulting if you guys need it. All right, guys, I'll see you not next Thursday, but the following Thursday. But I'll see you at the top.